Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have the semi-finals for the National Cup with the match of Poland versus Ukraine, which is a little weird because we had just played that the day before, but you know, a rematch of sorts. So we have Rubicon this time, and this is a 10 versus 10 battle. So a few things are different, 20% more players. On this side we have the Ukraine on the attacking side, so the Ukrainian team on the blue side are able to move through the river and get Bravo. They have the vision advantage on this side. However, the red team, Polish team, has the advantage of vision on the other side, on the western side, and will be attacking Delta. So let's take a look how it goes. So both sides have repeater crossbows and the rest of them infantry, and the main difference is actually there is practically no difference as far as I can see. Same amount of cavalry, same amount of, it's pretty much a mirror match. This is very interesting. Let's take a look how it goes. Who copied who? Nobody knows. We're having some defensive position and trying to scout the enemy, but we do know that we're gonna get attacked. So while this is going on, the team on the left is forming lines and is going to attack towards Bravo. Very nice lines are being formed on the Polish side. The battle for Charlie has begun with Scipio contesting the area. And on the other side, we have the Vercingetorix light infantry contesting Charlie. Let's see how that goes. So I'd like to focus a little bit over here and see what the plan is this time. Okay, we've got teleported because Scipio teleported. So the Polish team is, however, retreating from this side. They're unable to see if there's anything coming from here or from there. So they could have taken the fight over on this section. But instead we've got engagements over here. Oh yeah, the Ukrainian team is taking some casualties over on this side, but all they need to do is hold the line and let the repeaters do their job. But Polish team has hidden some cavalry and flanking forces to the side. Oh, we've got some bad engagement over there. Let's take a look what's happening on the other side. After all, they need to win there, but let's see what happens on Delta. On Delta, we've got things under control. Got units moving around, just a retreating maneuver over here. Oh, an important engagement going on over here with Vercingetorix throwing Scorched Earth over on this side, and Neon is just chasing the enemy repeaters, which is very important actually, because if you do not have range advantage on your side, what you need to do is zone out the enemy range. But what this ranged player is doing wrong is if he's being chased by one unit, he needs to spread his units so he'll be forced to chase one-on-one with and two other units should be shooting. But at the same time, he's positioning himself to shoot, which is quite interesting. Yep, he dropped caltrops to be able to kite better, but from the front they're able to block a lot of damage, so this is not a very good play. So we see, oh, that is me. Holy shit. So yes, we've got a quite good engagement over here. Looks like the cavalry did manage to get a charge on these repeaters. Two of the repeaters are still alive. This repeater is staying behind. He should be kind of like moving them backwards or towards the spears so that yep, just like that, very nice. So yeah, the Polish team is, while they are losing on Bravo, they still have control of the healing points, so they're able to just hit and come back. At the same time, Delta seems to be overrun, so Polish team currently has the advantage on this area. And the question is, how long will each one of them be able to hold? Now, the Ukrainian team, realizing that, is now pushing more aggressively towards Bravo, and now routing these units one by one. Oh, that's a Caesar infantry. That should have been routed much sooner. Should have focused on it and get it out. Just one flank, and it's good as dead. But it's currently not activating its buffs, so I don't know what's wrong with it. Routing, and we have Mordor blocking the healing point, a very good move, preventing the Polish, and B is now being contested and is now being taken, while Delta, the Ukrainian team is now kind of giving their best fight to prevent it from being capped. Neon and myself are just the last man standing over here. Here I'm using a trick to make the flanks a lot harder to take, which is attacking the last unit that charges. That's a little secret pro tip for you. They have blocked the healing point, so there's no way we can take it. But Ukrainian team has already taken Bravo and are now healing up, while Delta is still in Ukrainian control. And the Polish team takes the Delta. They're on their way to try and heal up. Repeaters are waiting for the healing point to spawn. So now the fight goes on for Point Charlie. That's going to be the determinant as to who wins. The point difference is around 10 points. The forces that defeated Delta and Bravo are now shifting towards Charlie, with one of these units are instead checking Bravo to see if it is defended, and if it's not, they'll be able to ninja cap. They notice that yes, it is defended, but to what extent? And so they're sending their 2 units. This unit spawned very slowly, while the Ukrainian team is now flooding into Charlie. Oh, that's not a good charge into those pikes. But they're not taking too bad of a damage, so that is quite good. They managed to charge into the archers and are doing quite a bit of damage, even though they have only 2 models left. Yeah, as you can see, the Ukrainian team is now pushing from both sides. If they do manage to get in here, the Caesar buffs will be able to spread on all the battlefield for the Ukrainian team. But the Polish team is intercepting their arrival. Only one of the units managed to make inside. On Delta, we have got some checks to see if it is defended, some small engagements over there. Pikes coming to the flank of the Ukrainian team, however they do lose the ranged battle, and this is a very important duel indeed, because the person who wins this one will be able to hit the other team uncontested. So currently, right now, Ukrainian team has the advantage in terms of kills, and they're now testing the base to see if the Polish team is going to send more units than needed to intercept it. They're chasing them out of the healing point, which is very fun. Ukrainian team is slowly and surely pulling ahead in terms of chevrons and the engagement at Charlie. This is why having good melee players is ever so important. And we have a wonderful charge by Sulatelli on Charlie, and the rest of the team fighting This is just fun to watch. Like, doesn't even need much commentary. Just look at all these men fighting one another left and right. Oh, looks like the Polish Caesar just got eliminated. Let's increase the speed and see where it goes. This is still completely up in the air. The winner of this engagement in Charlie will manage to pull ahead. Is going to be pulling very far ahead indeed. So we have a Ukrainian team that's almost have captured it. As you can see, it took half the match to just capture the first points and defend in Charlie, and the biggest determinant has been the kills, 3,000 versus 4,000, which resulted in the Chevron advantage. Which, if you think about it, only makes them stronger by 10%. Per Chevron, of course. So now, with the Charlie captured, the Ukrainian team is able to get a healing point very close to the Charlie in the middle, and are now able to just, if they want, they can play defensively, they can go aggressive, try to be greedy. But most important thing is to keep vision on the enemy and play reactively at this point. And that's exactly what they do. You know, they're contesting. This is like from the previous engagement. They knew they could spare the forces onto preventing them from healing up. And they knew that they'll be coming up from the base. And now we have the units healed up. The Polish team is now defending Delta. Mind you, this aggressive move is a very good one because they are not leaving Charlie alone. As you can see, it's completely defended on all sides, and they are reacting to the enemy. With these two infantry, they're falling back to the defense point, and basically everybody's doing something at all times. They're either attacking or all defending. They're all properly invested. They're not over-investing into defense. Which is, you know, would be a valid strategy at this point. But by keeping on aggressive, they are a bit of a higher risk, higher reward. On a competitive level, I would say they should stick to a more defensive strategy and just make sure to keep all three of these points. But, you know, they follow a more aggressive strategy, and it is paying off. They're able to tie up a lot of units over here, but they have to fight. This is just my observation. They have to fight on the terms of the Polish team. So had the teams been more equally matched in terms of personal skill, perhaps, then this could have been really bad for the Ukrainian team. Because as you can see, with all these forces engaged on Delta, they do not have enough. They do not have enough people to defend Charlie. But the Polish team makes a mistake by trying to go around. So it is very hard to tell, but the Ukrainian team managed to break the defense of the Polish team and managed to capture 4 points instead of 3, putting the Polish team very far behind. So they will need a lot of work for this one, but now the Polish team is able to capture Charlie, and the forces at Delta are going to be teleporting back to base. Knowing this map, they're able to teleport to base and run back to Charlie much faster than running back from Delta. So the Polish team manages to win the engagement at Charlie. There are these very few models remaining to challenge to buy just a little bit of time. And now, yep, you can see Capybara sacrificing his units just to contest it a little bit. Sunset pulling inside just to contest it a little bit, because this buys enough time for the rest of their allies to arrive. This is one of the more frustrating parts of this format, is that just one unit inside is really, really annoying. being able to stop the entire capture. I think it should be similar to base capture, but that is just my opinion. I mean, this creates a lot of interesting... Oh, that's a very bad move. These pikes manages to catch up to Dromi's repeater crossbow and take out almost half the unit. 1/3 of the men are dead and almost half their HP is gone. Oh, we've got a cavalry charge coming in. Oh, and Dromi very nicely dodges, only to dodge into the hands of the enemy, completely losing all 3 of his units. But there wasn't really much he could have done outside of just trying to get behind and let Arpe defend him. So yeah, because the Ukrainian team managed to play to the mechanics and keep 1 unit inside, they have managed to contest it long enough for the reinforcements to arrive and Point not to get locked in. So now, with 4 points confidently in hand, the Ukrainian team has a very distinct advantage. So let's speed it up to see what happens. Strategy-wise, the Polish team is now moving towards Point Bravo. Some very nice engagements over here. Some back charge. So yeah, you can see now the kill difference is from 5,000 to 7,000, and you can see the difference in chevrons very clearly, with ranging from very few 1s to 3s, 3, 3, 3, to no 3s, making the Polish units about 10% more weaker in a direct engagement. But this 10% difference can be very easily felt. I mean, there's 10% in all stats, so the difference is, the actual factual difference is much more than that. Okay, we've got 500 tickets to go, and no sign of the Polish team being able to push towards Delta. Now, what the Ukrainian team is doing, they're keeping the enemy on their toes by taking a very proactive approach and forcing the enemy to react to their movements, which is a very smart idea, but also a little risky. Because if they had the coordination, if the enemy team had the coordination to attack all together, they would have been able to... Oh, you see what they're doing? The Polish team has decided to try to capture Bravo and then immediately capture Echo by positioning units in there. So they're attempting to rout this 1 unit, but it's just not routing. 5%. They need just a little bit more damage in order for them to rout. Oh, they have activated termination, I think? No, it doesn't have that. Okay, yep. And the Polish team is now taking Bravo and will try to take Echo, but it is simply way too late, so they went with a hyper-aggressive capture. However, the Ukrainian team has already seen that and is sending reinforcements to Echo. But the battle is unfortunately almost over, with the point difference being as high as it is. We're in the last 100 points, last few seconds of the battle. And this is the Poland versus Ukraine semifinals, Game 1. I'll see you on Game 2.